7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's now time for the Pony Cake Sports Podcast with your hosts, Josh Stevens, Tim Thompson, and Tom Schultz. Woo!
Oh, hey there, everybody. How's it going? And, Tom, it's me and you today.
Yes, it is. The cream of the crop is here. Tim is home wiping some babies' booties.
Ooh.
And our league is fucking retarded right now. Everyone's probably paying attention to Group Me. People are retards.
Yeah, I feel like you guys are not paying attention to what we have said. The only thing that I brought up had nothing to do with the 9th round pick.
Or a 7.
Or a 7. I have no idea where that stuff is coming from. The only thing that I brought up, which is a very valid point on my end, is the 6th round pick that Jerry traded to Mike in 2018 and 2019. 18/19. That is the reason why I brought it up, because when I asked if Jerry had a 6 in 2019, or if he traded it, he said no, which he did. So that's the only thing I brought up. Everything else on your guys' end is completely fine. Don't worry about it. The 6 is the only thing that I was bringing up in 2019. That's it.
Stop panicking. Josh Schultz, everything's cool. You'll be all right, my bud.
So let's get to this week that we had. We will start off with none other than Tom Rafferty and Tater King Kevin Long.
This was an ugly matchup. I didn't see Tommy's team performing like this. I was expecting more out of it. I like the Gillisley start, and losing Zeke right now, it's a big loss for him. But Kevin, you motherfucker, you started Jeremy Maclin, and pretty much everyone knew he wasn't playing, but you weren't paying attention.
So Kevin texted me at, I think it was 12:05. And he said, "God damn it, I'm at work. It was busy. I tried to look at my phone and I tried to plug somebody else in. In all honesty, it doesn't even matter because Jamison Crowder was his only wide receiver besides Willie Snead. But to be honest, Jeremy Maclin was questionable all week, and he was a game-time decision. He was on the field. He was trying to give it a go, and then he was designated not ready to play. So as much as I want to give Kevin shit, I really can't, because he did text me right after that saying that. So I don't want to say I feel bad, but my upset pick kind of fell through because I totally thought he still started Carlos Hyde. And then when I looked back, I was like, God damn it. If he would have started Carlos Hyde, he would have gotten the upset victory here.
I get why he was playing Duke Johnson, though. Most people were expecting the Browns to be down in that game, and that's where Duke Johnson thrives. And Carlos Hyde facing the Redskins, they've been extremely good at stopping the run. And Hyde really didn't have a good game, but he found the end zone twice, and that's what made the difference. But yeah, that would have made a big-time difference in this game, would have gave him the win and got the upset over Tommy.
Let me ask you this. With Tommy, you're going to have Ezekiel Elliott on suspension, most likely for the rest of the year. Maybe, maybe not.
Still a chance.
Still a chance.
They're supposed to come out with the ruling today.
But if he is suspended, how's Tommy's team looking with a Devontae Adams with no more Aaron Rodgers?
Definitely downgrade a little bit for sure, especially Gillisley. He's kind of been shooting himself in the foot lately, keeps turning the football over, and when you do that for the New England Patriots, you get benched. So most likely he'll be having to rely on Tevin Coleman, who's had issues staying healthy, but he's looked pretty solid so far. Tommy needs to keep playing Michael Crabtree. He's his most consistent wide receiver. He keeps benching him. I get why he did it this week, but he needs to be in his lineup every week.
Next up, we are going to go to the quote-unquote game of the week for me, and that was none other than Mike versus Justin. 2 4-1 teams at the time. Justin is now 5-1. Mike is now 4-2, and it turned out not to be such a game of the week. We had Justin putting up 72.8 points, Mike putting up 54.5. So, I mean, you kind of look at the teams, and Justin's team has been a powerhouse all year long.
Yep.
So is Mike's. Mike's been very good. And now the loss of Aaron Rodgers. Ty Montgomery doing absolutely nothing. Aaron Jones on the bench. You got 2 running backs you don't know what to do with. Alvin Kamara, who you just traded a 7th and an 8th to possibly be your starting running back / keeper for down the road. What happened here?
Losing Aaron Rodgers is a complete momentum swing from Mike's team. He was running away with this division, and with Aaron Rodgers going down, that's giving me some hope. I'm 1-5, but I'm 3 games down from Mike. I feel like I have a chance to come back, so I'm going to be making a push. I'm going to come up on Mike's ass, and I'm going to catch him and ruin his playoff dreams yet again. Another strong start for Mike, and he's going to finish lousy like he does every year. But Rodgers, this hurts Mike's team everywhere. His running back spot, his best running back has been either Aaron Jones or Ty Montgomery, whoever's the starting bell cow there, and they've been really successful for him. Then you got to look at Jordy Nelson, top 5 receiver this year. Not no more. For me, he's a wide receiver 2 now, playing, what's his name? I have a brain fart with their quarterback.
Brent Hundley.
Hundley, yeah. He didn't look too hot against Minnesota. Tough.
He's not good.
No, tough matchup, but he's a backup quarterback.
You know who I'd rather have? The great Case Keenum.
I thought you were going to say Colin Kaepernick and bring some political talk like Tim normally does into our podcast.
I'm not Tim.
God, I'm so glad Tim's out here. But Mike's team, he's going to have to make another move. And he's already traded a lot of his picks, traded that 7th and 8th to get Alvin Kamara, who Mike is hoping is his flex option next year, which you shouldn't be trading a 7 and an 8 to get a flex option. So it's interesting for Mike. His team is going to be struggling.
Yeah, I just don't see. And he picked up and started Austin Seferian-Jenkins as well.
Good start.
So not a bad start, but very, very questionable on where the rest of the team is. Started Mike Wallace. Can't really blame him for that because, he's got really nobody else. It's tough right now for Mike. Juju Smith-Schuster is his only other wide receiver on his team besides Zay Jones. So he traded away Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp was good for at least 5, 6 to 8 points a game, maybe even more with a breakout game here and there. So starting Mike Wallace with a team that isn't playing very well in the Baltimore Ravens, I'd be very worried on where my team was right now. That's just me.
And I'm not worried about Justin's team at all. He had a down week, but he found a way to win, and that's what's important when you have that down week. His team's been super consistent all season, and Leonard Fournette's just tearing it up for Justin right now.
Is he the rookie of the year right now?
Right now, yes.
Even above Kareem Hunt?
Oh, yeah, good point.
I think he is.
It's close. Both of them. Are they number 1 and number 2 running backs right now? I believe they are.
Yeah, so let me make my case. Maybe we could do this on our actual show, make the case for a rookie for being almost the MVP. The reason why I have Leonard Fournette above Kareem Hunt, we see what Alex Smith has done for the Chiefs, right?
Yep.
We've seen him command that offense. We've seen him be able to throw touchdown passes. We've seen him be able to have wide receivers do something else on on his team. The Jacksonville Jaguars, Blake Bortles has not had a very good year. He's thrown a couple touchdown passes. He has not been asked to do very much. He's ripping off a 72-yard run, or 80-yard run, or however long that is, Leonard Fournette-wise. The wide receivers, AR-15 is down. So the passing game is not there. Leonard Fournette and that defense is what is carrying that team.
Oh, yeah.
So that is why I would slightly put Leonard Fournette above him, Kareem Hunt-wise. Not as flashy as Kareem Hunt, because he's on the Jacksonville Jaguars, but I feel like he is definitely making a case for Rookie of the Year. I would put him neck and neck with Deshaun Watson right now. But if you're going to put a quarterback with a running back, chances are it's going to go to the quarterback side.
The rookies have been fabulous. That's why we were so excited about them on this podcast. A lot of you guys listen to us, and you guys were smart.
Next up, we have you, Tom, versus Josh Schultz. And you guys are now both 1-5. You already dropped Jacoby Brissett. You have him putting up 16 points this week.
Not much.
Yeah, not much, but still putting up 16 points. That defense for the Ravens, though, put up 21. And my boy, Evan Ingram, 14.2.
Yeah, my receivers have been outright terrible all season. The main reason I am 1-5 right now. Hoping they can turn it around. I liked what I saw out of Mark Ingram, though. He looked good with AP out of there, getting a couple more touches. And, yeah, Evan Ingram, dude's going to be special, especially if he can keep that tight end designation. He's going to be a special player in this league. He's got that second gear. And Josh Schultz, threw in the towel. Obvious. You just look at his team right now. Half his team he picked up off the waivers last week. Le'Veon Bell had a big-time game. A lot of Josh Schultz's other guys had big-time games that he traded. Look at Kirk Cousins. He put up 30 points. Gronk was 20-something. Right there.
This could have been win number 2 for him.
Oh, yeah. It would have been close, but I get what Josh Schultz was doing. His picks right now, I think his last one's in the 11th round. And your picks are going to become more valuable in our league with the flex option, with the extra roster spot. I get what Josh Schultz was doing, but yeah, it definitely sucks, especially right now me and him are in last place together, but I have the tiebreaker. So there's a chance he could lose Beer Bitch because of a tiebreaker in this matchup.
We have the Shield, Jerry, versus the champ is here, Joey. The Shield, Jerry, goes to 5-1 and Joey 3-3. And Jerry put up 110.8 points to Joey's 89.6. Deshaun Watson, another big game. Christian McCaffrey, a receiving touchdown. This team lives and dies by the Texans, right? Safe to say?
Yes.
And I guess the Carolina Panthers.
Yep.
You have Deshaun Watson, Lamar Miller, Will Fuller, and the Texans defense. You have Christian McCaffrey and Calvin Benjamin. That's 2 big chunks right there.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what? Who's on bye this week? Yeah, that's right. So you better get ready, Jerry.
Who does he play this week, Josh?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, I thought this was a pretty good matchup on paper. Stafford, didn't have the best start to the game. I believe it was a sack, right?
Yep.
For a safety. And then Jerick McKinnon put up 19.9 points. Is he going to be a legit threat?
I'm still not a believer. He's looked good, though, his first 2 weeks. He tore apart that Bears, that weakened run defense in that game. But he looked good against the Packers. He looks explosive. He's good at receiving the football out of the backfield. I don't think he's going to be a per se bell cow running back, but I could see him getting 12 to 15 carries or touches regularly in the season. But I'm expecting Latavius to get more of a workload.
Looking at Joey's team here, you have, again, like you said, Jerick McKinnon putting up some decent numbers. We don't know for sure if he's going to keep it up. Kareem Hunt looking like the real deal, putting up another 11 points, staying pretty consistent. He is now, running back number one overall, so pretty good numbers. Can't complain about that. Travis Kelce, not a big day for him. 4 catches, 37 yards, 3.7 total points. But he came into this game banged up. He was in the concussion protocol. So I think Joey still seems pretty good for later down the road. But like we said before, starting Ricardo Lewis is not very ideal. Even though that A.J. Green is on bye, I would still like a better number 4 option on that team. So
yeah, right now I'd be a little worried with the usage of Julio Jones. Like he's been healthy. Some people are saying he's a little banged up, but right now Steve Sarkisian is not using him the way he should be using Julio Jones in that offense. I could see him definitely going to eat this weekend, though, against the New England Patriots, who've given up, I believe, the second most receiving yards in the season. So if Julio does not blow up this week, then something's seriously wrong with him. But he's getting A.J. Green back. If Andrew Luck ever comes back healthy and David Johnson, this team could be scary. But right now, Joey being 3-3, it's a little bit of a shocker, but he's still in it. Your division's extremely tight, though.
Next up, we have Luke versus myself. Luke put up 94.6 points. I put up 120.1. To be honest, at one point in this time, in this game, this matchup, I was very, very worried. We had Doug Martin not doing anything. We had Melvin Gordon not doing anything. Mike Evans doing nothing. Michael Thomas put up only 1 point. I was worried. My defense only had 2 points. I even texted Luke and I said, good luck. I wanted to get that karma on my side. I said, good luck, mate. And right after that, the Lions blew up, scored 17 points. Melvin Gordon decided to ball out. He ended up with 27. Thank you, Jerry. And then Mike Evans and Doug Martin ended up scoring touchdowns and got me the win. So I was quite happy with that.
Your running backs definitely helped carry you this week. At first, when I saw how Mike Thomas was playing, he was getting shut down by Darius Slay. The Saints were kind of running the football a lot because they were up big. Mike Evans was struggling. I really thought you were going to lose this week.
Yeah,
100%.
It was possible.
Especially with Aguilar had a decent game on Thursday night.
Yeah, that's what really pissed me off. I saw the Zach Ertz. I'm like, yeah, Zach Ertz. And then Aguilar, of course, of all people, scores the touchdown. And you know what? I'm really lucky he did not start a Chris Thompson or a Sammy Watkins, because if he started Chris Thompson over CJ and started or Ted Ginn Jr. over Taylor Gabriel, which I thought he may have done just out of spite, and he didn't. I may have been looking at a loss this week.
Luke, you have to start starting Eric Decker. You know, he's your love child. You love him. We all gave you shit about him. You should be putting him in every week. He's getting better little by little. But yeah, C.J. Anderson, I thought he was going to have a monster game this week. The Giants have struggled against the run all year, and this Sunday they decided to play that good run defense, so that helped you out a lot, Josh. But this is a big-time win for you. Another big-time scoring output for your team, 120. I think you were close to that last week as well, so you have to like that.
Yeah, it's funny because I picked up Josh Doxson at, like, my phone died, or no, my phone was updating, and I was like, oh my God, it's 11:57. I can pick somebody up for Trevor Siemian, who I picked up off a waiver, so Luke couldn't get. And then, of course, he still started Carson Palmer, who scored 23 points, but whatever. So I went, hurry up, picked up Josh Doxson, saw he got a touchdown in the first couple minutes of the game. I was very happy. I picked up Matt Forte off of waivers, happy with that. And then Larry Fitzgerald, man, I feel like I keep picking the wrong wide receiver each week. I have 4 stud guys, and I just keep picking the wrong one.
It's tough when you got 4 guys who are routinely in the top 20 of most people's rankings, who are routinely in our top 20 rankings. It's hard to pick between those guys, but eventually you're going to make the right decision, all 3 of them, and probably score 150 in a week, Josh.
Next up, Dumpster Bowl of the Week. We have Spencer Camp, 2 in the Plinko, 1 in the Stinko, versus Tim Thompson, Fantasy North Division champ in his dreams. So, final score, Tim wins 119.9 to 107.1 at one point in time at the end of this Tennessee Titan game versus the Indianapolis Colts. I thought it was DeMarco Murray that ran for that 72-yard run and a touchdown. That would have been a lot of points, and that may have been close to putting him over the edge right there. Was that 13 points? That would have got him the win.
And Moncrief dropped I think it was like a 15 or 16-yard touchdown pass as well.
Yeah.
So this game could have been completely different. Tim was being a little pussy all week, or on Sunday and Monday. Oh, Spencer still got a good chance, and we were trying to jinx him over here. But Tim, a big-time trade with Josh Schultz is what got this done. Spencer's still crying about it. I get where he's coming from, but Spencer was also offered a deal that was similar, didn't bite on it, and that's what happens. When you want to compete at this time of the year, when other people are buying, you're going to have to do the same thing, and that means giving up some good draft picks. So
that's very true. Yeah. It'll be curious to see where he goes from this week on, Spencer-wise. He's already talking about trading away Jordan Howard, so very curious to see where that goes. He's already asking for a king's ransom for him. And I get it, but he's a turd for doing it. So we are going to start off with the first matchup of the week, Tom. It's actually you versus Justin here. I don't know what the projected score is. I really don't care. But you got Russell Wilson back. Right now you got Marlon Mack in there. Maybe we complete this deal that we got going on if Spencer's not a Jew. You're going to got 2 bench spots. So what are you thinking in this matchup?
I'm going to have to pull something out of my ass. Justin has the better team on paper. That's 100% true. I have to hope Leonard Fournette gets injured again. Maybe messes up that ankle that he messed up at the end of last week's game. And that somehow the Falcons don't score 45 points on the New England Patriots. If they explode like I think they're going to, Justin will whoop the shit out of my team. But I'm going for it right now. Hopefully Spencer, like you said, isn't a little dickhead and trades you Jordan Howard so I can get myself Joe Mixon and possibly make this interesting and possibly make a late playoff push.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting to say the least, so we'll see where that goes for sure. Let's go ahead and move on to...
I'm going to win the game, though, by the way.
Oh, you're going to go with you?
Yep.
All right. Can't fault that at all. It's kind of tough to pick it. I mean, honestly, if I'm looking at it, it's tough both ways. I think this might be a game where Amari Cooper finally shows up. He's getting torched in the media everywhere. And the Kansas City Chiefs have given up some big points to wide receivers. You look at it against the Houston Texans, 46 points. Yeah, a lot of that was garbage time, but at the same time, those are still fantasy points right there. So maybe he does blow up. Maybe this Martavis Bryant trade talk is going to finally spark a fire under their asses, and maybe we see them go from there. I still got to pick Justin, but I can definitely see the upset happen there. Next up, Josh Schultz versus Kevin Long.
This is a matchup that Josh Schultz is actually hoping he wins. Well, he really has no rooting interest for him to lose out because I have his pick. But he's been telling me I have a real chance to beat Kevin this week. He's telling me I better prepare to be beer bitch. He's talking all this shit. It's kind of funny having a little shit talking over who's going to be beer bitch. But that is what it is when both teams are 1-5. But right now, Josh Schultz, I can't pick him to win. His team is not very good. Le'Veon Bell is by far his best player, but if he's starting Mitchell Trubisky against Carolina, that's not good. Derrick Henry against Cleveland, he's got a chance that could be a solid matchup for him, but his receivers are ugly, tight end's ugly. Just got to pray Kevin makes the right decisions and finds a way to beat Josh in this. But Kevin has a chance to compete for the division title as well. He's 2 games behind Mike, and Mike's team is hurting right now, so hopefully Kevin can make a run at the division title as well.
Yeah, you got to imagine right here, Josh Schultz has to make either a trade for a quarterback. He's got all these picks. Last pick is what, in the 11th round?
Yeah.
Just trade an 11 for a 13 or a 12 and get a Phillip Rivers or something. It's worth it at this point in time. You cannot start Trubisky. You cannot start him. Back-to-back 10-point games. They've been trying to run the ball. You can't start him. You just can't do it, in my opinion. Tight end-wise, just pick somebody up off of waivers. Njoku ain't doing it for you. But if he gets a quarterback, and if he gets a different tight end, and honestly, Robbie Anderson, it looks like the go-to guy besides Jermaine Kearse in the Jets organization there. Josh Schultz does have a chance. But, I mean, if I'm looking at it, I can't pick his team unless if he makes these moves. So I do have to go with Kevin. We'll just see if he picks up a kicker or not. So that'll be very interesting.
He should pick up a kicker, hopefully.
Yeah, if he didn't, then we would be having some questions. Next up, we have Touch My Nelson, Mike Agent versus I Made Jerry Tap, Thomas Rafferty.
This it's going to be an interesting matchup. Look, Mike has 88% of the Packers players that are available to be started in fantasy football. Tommy's a big-time Packers fan. He's got that other 12% and Mr. Devontae Adams. But Mike, I'm nervous for your quarterback spot. You're going to have to do what Josh just said about Josh Schultz. You're going to have to make a trade for something. You look on the waiver wire. No one really has a great matchup this week. Your best would probably be Jared Goff, and he's been hit or miss lately. They have been relying on Todd Gurley a lot. I'm going to have to go with Tommy in this matchup. I like Drew Brees against the Packers. Tommy will probably hate watching that game because his team will be getting his real-life team will be getting demolished, but his fantasy quarterback will be tearing him up. Got to go with Tommy.
The question here is, though, Tom, what does Mike do in free agency for the quarterback spot? What quarterback does he go with? Trevor Siemian is available. I dropped him. I was not going to drop Phillip Rivers because I knew this was going to happen with Aaron Rodgers. I knew he'd die. So, honestly, somebody should be reaching out to me by now.
Oh, yeah.
Josh Schultz or Mike Agent for a quarterback because I have Phillip Rivers available.
Yep.
I thought Jameis Winston would have been a very smart trade possibility as well. But you know what? Jameis Winston is also hurt as well. So does Mike ball out and pick up a Hundley? Do you think he does that?
I don't think he does that.
No?
What I really think he's going to be praying is that Blake Bortles, he's playing the Colts. It's a good matchup for him. But I have the number 2 waiver claim, Mike. I'm playing this game. I will be picking up Blake Bortles. I know you have a hard-on for him. You'd like to start him and kind of fuck me over a little bit. You're not going to. I don't trust Blake Bortles at all, but I think he's going to have to pass the football in this game against the Colts. So I will be picking up Blake Bortles. So figure out someone else to start. But right now he's got Eli against Seattle. That's a shitty matchup. Jared Goff, Arizona. That's tough as well. Arizona has been giving up passing yards, but I think they're going to be playing better football in the near future. Josh McCown against Miami. Still a tough matchup. Miami's been playing good defense. Ben Roethlisberger against Cincy. There's not many good options on the waiver wire right now. And Mike doesn't have many picks either to be trading away. It's going to be ugly for Mike. He's in trouble.
Yeah, I just keep looking at it. I don't even know what I would do. I kind of feel, I don't know. Maybe a Ryan Fitzpatrick. I wouldn't even pick up Ryan Fitzpatrick. Not against the Bills.
No.
Yeah. Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know. There's a lot of quarterbacks available. That's for sure. Maybe a beat hard. Maybe him. Yeah.
It's going to be interesting.
And honestly, I wouldn't even pick up Hundley against the Saints defense because the Saints defense has been playing so much freaking better,
One of the better streaming options this week in my eyes.
Yeah, so it'll be very interesting to see where that goes. But to be honest, I really don't care. Mike's going to lose. So, team garbage. Team garbage. Next up, we have Luke versus Tim. Again, Tim is the shithead that doesn't put his team in there. So, Luke, we got Palmer against the Rams, Anderson against the Chargers. That Deion Lewis was a sneaky play on his part. Pissed me off last week. So, it'll be interesting to see what happens here. I think you got to put McCoy in over Deion Lewis or C.J. Anderson, one or the other. Maybe even Chris Thompson. I don't know why he's not playing Chris Thompson more. They want to get him the ball, even though they keep saying they don't want to give him the ball. But I'm really hoping for a Luke win. Not even going to go over Tim's roster because it's not plugged in there. So I'm really hoping for a Luke win here.
I'm going to give the win to Luke as well. He's getting Dak Prescott, Dez Bryant back. Dez, decent matchup, and if Zeke is out, Dez is probably going to be getting a lot more targets and will only increase his fantasy value. Luke's going to edge us out, and Tim's going to cry a little bit more.
Good. That's what I like to hear. Next up, the Shield, Jerry versus myself, the Mad Pooper.
This is probably the game of the week, in my eyes, right now. Look, Josh, your team's been one of the hottest in the leagues, but you're only at 500 right now. You are 3-3, kind of a rough schedule, kind of bad luck. But your team is still very good, and a team that a lot of people should be scared of. Jerry team, on the other hand, look, just call his team the fucking Houston Texans. That's the team that has been carrying Jerry's team. Deshaun Watson, Will Fuller, Lamar Miller, Houston's defense. They've been wrecking shit the last few weeks, and Jerry doesn't have that right now.
Yeah.
I'm still going with Jerry. I told him I'd pick him for the rest of the year. And I'm not going to lie to him. I'm going to be honest. Jerry's going to win this game somehow. It might not be pretty. Jerry's going to get it done.
I hope Adrian Peterson comes out with 4 carries and Andre Ellington gets like 14 catches. And Jerry's going to be like, motherfucker. And then I'm going to be sitting there and I'm going to go, got him. But yeah, I got to pick myself. It sucks that the Lions are on a bye because they have been straight up crazy. And to be honest, man, I don't even know how the Lions were still on waivers. Like, they were on waivers after week 4. And I picked them up and they got me fucking 3 points 2 weeks ago, which was very upsetting. They were on the verge of getting 2 points, but then they blew up. So
it was ballsy for you to start them against the Saints. There's no fucking way I would have done that.
Yeah.
Straight up, when I saw that, I was like, what the fuck's he doing?
Yeah.
Like, but it worked out. Like, that happens in fantasy football.
The way I look at it is the Lions, they always give up tons of points.
Yeah.
And somehow, some way, they always get back there. And luckily for me, it was a couple defensive touchdowns and a couple interceptions. So that's all you got to hope for, I guess. But I'm going to pick myself. So sorry, Jerry. The Texans are going down. Next up, we have Spencer. 2 in the Plinko, 1 in the Stinko versus the champ is here, Joey. And Joey's got Stafford on bye. Spencer's got Golden Tate on bye. And it's a very interesting matchup here.
This almost be seen as a must-win for Joey right now, in my eyes. I think he needs to keep pace. He's at 500, kind of been a little bit disappointing of a year. And I really think Joey's going to do that this week. I think his team's going to come out and drop a bunch of bombs on Spencer's team. Especially if Spencer drops or trades Jordan Howard, his team's going to be severely weakened. I like Joey's chances. I like Kareem Hunt against Oakland. Good matchup. Jerick McKinnon, Baltimore, a little sketchy. But Julio Jones, I think he's going to be a game wrecker this week and have a chance to be that wide receiver 1 that Joey's been hoping for the whole season. Big time win for Joey.
Yeah, I think Travis Kelce has a bounce back week that he had from last week as well. Spencer starting Ed Dixon. Man, he had one big week, and then you're hoping for good things. Devontae Parker, I really hope he's healthy because I would like to see that matchup against some of those guys in the secondary for the Jets. Just very intriguing matchup to me with Jay Cutler throwing the ball. You almost have to start Parker or you're starting Kendall Wright. So it's one or the other unless if you're picking somebody up off of waivers. And I don't see you cutting Kendall Wright. I don't see you cutting Darkwa. I don't see you cutting Collins yet. So if you're cutting anybody, it's going to be Jalen Richard. But you're going to be most likely picking up a wide receiver because you do need that depth because Golden Tate will be out for at least a couple weeks. So is the rumor. But if I had to pick somebody to win, it would be Joey. I don't want Joey to win, but I think he will. Jerick McKinnon runs on still. I think he has 14 points again.
Whew.
So, any final thoughts we have here? Playoff picture is shaping up, yet not shaping up because it is still a long season to go.
It's fucking crazy right now, but that's what makes everything awesome. Look, we got 2 5-1 teams, 2 teams doing very well, but your division, every team's 3-3. Mike's team, the East, it's going to be a close run. Kind of been beating a dead horse here with Mike's team, thinking it's going to suck. But he's got a 2-game lead on Kevin, 3-game lead on me. I think one of our teams could catch him. But we're going to have to make some moves. Jerry's kind of running away with it, but everything is close right now. I love it. It's keeping everything interesting. And I feel like a lot of the teams are all interested right now, which is a good thing. Even the 1-5 teams are paying attention and doing shit, and that's what this league is for, and that's what makes this league great.
That's very true, very true. Very true point on that because that is the biggest thing. Everybody just staying active, which is what we said from the get-go. That was the one thing that we wanted to make sure everybody was doing. Even Kevin, not starting the guy, it is what it is, but...
Breaking news.
What's that?
Zeke Elliott got the temporary restraining order. Woo! It's good to play.
Good to play. So Zeke Elliott looks like he is going to be playing this week. Tommy, who's he playing?
Who's he? Kevin? Or no, Mike.
Mike. Okay, so Mike, you're still slated to lose in my book. But
sorry, Mike. More bad luck.
Yeah, that's not good. Maybe you can trade some 8 years of 6s and get another running back. But yeah, that's all I got. Tom, anything else?
That's all I got.
Guys, hope you enjoyed. And with no Tim, it kind of went a little bit smoother this time.
Kind of nice.
Not bad. All right, till next time.